Hi. Yes. I think you're all more ready for your headliner than I am. Hold on, just pardon me while I panic. All right, hooray. Hello, Lima, Ohio. It is great to be here. This is everything I wanted and more. Which I guess technically means I got a lot of stuff I didn't want. I'm just going to start, now that I have a decent size. Yes, thank you. I know I have the microphone, but please don't yell. I know I have, my voice gets amplified. That was the word I'm looking for, amplified. But while I have a decent-sized crowd and all of you, I just want to take a quick survey because I'm curious. By round of applause, who hates the sound of clapping?
This guy here.
You sadistic bastard. And I said by round of applause, not by pointing. Thank you. So, it's nice to be here, but to be honest with you, Lima, Ohio, I haven't felt great lately. I've had terrible headaches and raging heartburn, and every morning I feel nauseous. And I actually, this is actually true, and I plugged all these things into the computer to see what was wrong with me, and WebMD tells me I'm pregnant. Which I didn't think was true, but it would explain why I missed my period for 17 years straight. This baby's going straight into grad school. So actually recently I was filling out paperwork to get insurance because, Junior needs to be taken care of. But to get insurance I had to fill out a health questionnaire. And it was incredibly long. It was 100 pages of just questions about me. And I got bored halfway through and I just started messing around with the survey. It was questions like, have you ever considered suicide? No. Have you ever tried suicide? Yes. I guess it leads credence to the question when I put yes to, are you impulsive? But I will tell you, I'm not even positive I need health insurance, because a couple of years ago, I walked away unscathed from a car crash that physics and biology says should have killed me. And my brother's religious girlfriend told me it was because God loves me, which, could be true and would be awesome, but I'm still working under the way more fun theory that I have superpowers. I was gonna have my brother shoot me to see if I could stop a bullet, but that's not really for first you don't succeed, try again sort of thing. I'm really curious if I can fly, but I don't want to jump off a building until I successfully take off from the ground at least once. It's not really a fear of flying so much as an innate understanding that I'm not a bird. I don't know. So yes, talking about, I actually have two brothers. I'm the oldest of three boys. But the problem is both my little brothers are taller than me, which doesn't sound that bad, but it's really hard to dispense older brother advice or really talk to them from my wisdom area when I have to look at them like this. I like how in that joke my brothers are mythically huge because I got to lean all the way back to talk to them. But,
my show was good news, though.
yeah, something like that. But brothers, yeah. My train of thought was just derailed. Yes, clang, bang, words are fun. Talking about family. So my father was Jewish, but I don't practice, although I should because I'm terrible at it. Yeah, see what I did there? Yeah. But my father's sister is still super religious and it's very important to her. So I saw her recently and she questioned me about it. She's like, when was the last time you got in touch with your Jewish ancestry? And I said, occasionally I go to the automatic doors of the grocery store as they open, I pretend I'm Moses parting the Red Sea. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Frankly, the most Jewish thing about me is my circumcision. Just keeping up the trend of wiener jokes, Thank you, Jeff. But, actually, it's not entirely true. I have that Jewish hook nose, the stereotype thing. But I don't think that actually counts, because I technically wasn't born with it. I got it from when a guy broke my nose in a bar fight, which means some random dude beat a stereotype into me. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna take that back. I hate Jewish stereotypes. I would complain, but that is one.
You know one thing.
Yes, I got the one thing. They also say Jews are really funny, which makes me think that Hitler's big problem was he was tired of being made fun of. Hey, until history tells me otherwise. I actually saw a commercial on TV the other day that said a World War II veteran dies every 2 minutes. And I go, Jesus, that's got to be the worst rate since the actual war. And it was also followed by a commercial that said, honor your World War II veterans. And I had to wonder, do you think they have those in Germany? But I have to say this though, I have been trying to work on more voices and accents just to increase my comedy work, but my Jewish accent keeps coming out German, which historically, as we've just pointed out, is the exact opposite of what I'm going for.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, show me your papers. I didn't know that was in German either. I don't know what that was. So what was I saying? So I quit smoking recently, not just for the health insurance thing, but yeah, woo. But I didn't quit in like the normal manner. I continued to buy cigarettes. I just stopped carrying a lighter around with me. Because as much as I love a cigarette, it's just not worth rubbing two of them together to light it. Okay, I want to stop for a second because I gotta ask that, you guys line up. We all understand that's a reference to rubbing two sticks together to light a fire, right? Okay, because I did that show when I was still living in Connecticut. I had a very nice gay man come up to me and tell me how deeply offended he was by the homophobia of that joke. I'm perplexed, so I asked him to explain it. He tells me he thinks it's about how I'm making fun of how gay men, rub their dicks together. Which is not a thing I was aware they did. I went home and slapped mine around to see if I'd like it. Guys, I'll let you know, I didn't. Yeah, well. As I said, so I recently started documenting my sex life. I gotta tell you, Lima, Ohio, that book is in no way better than the movies. That's the thing, people say all the time, the book was better than the movie. But, you know what, I've tried, and books just don't have the same special effects like movies do. And don't get me started on the soundtrack. I'm sorry, Darth Vader's theme is not scary when you're just reading the words. Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum. Jesus, Jake. Hold on, I think Jake's gonna have a heart attack. But not till he finishes cigarette, just like Dan's father. Call back. It was funny. I was trying to get a digital audiobook recently, speaking of books, and it turns out one of the devices you can get them on is a GPS. And I really want to get an audiobook on my GPS. I just want to be driving down the road and actually hear it as I float down the rivers of the mighty Mississippi. Jim looked at Huck and said, "Turn left in 7 miles." I'd also like to point out that technically his name isn't Jim in the book, but I'm just not going to say that.
What?
A couple of years ago, I heard they were going to take that word out of Huck Finn, and I was like in this weird anti-censorship debate. I was so mad. I was like, that's it. I'm going to find a copy, and I'm actually going to read it before you can't find an unoriginal copy anymore. And then I read it, and I don't realize how much they actually say in the book. He starts introducing black characters just to call them that. It's racist, is what I'm trying to say here.
Like I said, everybody has their name.
Yes, nobody gets her name. So I mentioned it really quickly. I am originally from Connecticut. I moved out to Ohio for work. And when I first moved out here, my wife told me I had to buy a bigger bed. Specifically, I had to buy a bed big enough for both of us to sleep in. So I bought a bunk bed. Hey, I gave her the top bunk. I'm not a monster. So yes, I am married. We've been dating for I think 5 years now. We've been married for just under 2. But I remember when we first started dating, like our first anniversary was coming up, and I asked her, "What do you want for our anniversary, sweetie?" And she said, "I want an engagement ring." So I asked for an elephant.
Hey man,
Because I figured that way nobody got what they wanted. I told that joke to my friend Dan, and he's like, what are you going to do if she gets you like a toy elephant? I go, I'll get her a ring pop. The worst part is I bought the ring pop just in case. Oh, no, my wife is cool. It was love at first sight, but I'm super nearsighted, so she had to get really close. Like we were basically having sex at that point. Yep, this is the girl for me. Oh, yeah. No, but it's true. I am like super nearsighted, and my wife picked these glasses out for me. And they are a prescription, and now I can't see a thing because I'm wearing my contacts. But the thing is, I mean, she really likes them. I think they make it look like I'm trying to maintain a secret identity for the people. All right, I'm gonna take this off now before I get a headache. Where is it? Oh, what? No, my wife is really cool. Actually, before I met her, I was really considering asking out my bank teller, but it is so hard to hit on a girl who's seen my paycheck. I think I'm enjoying this as much as you are. Yes, I am your golden god of comedy. Kneel before me with my jokes and japes. So yeah, I will say this though, growing up, my parents never once told me I was special, but the public school system sure did. But that might be because I did things like, because I was so bad at art, to pass it I went experimental. I handed in an empty sheet of paper and told the teacher I drew a blank. It actually worked, so I actually turned in an essay on minimalism. It was a sentence. Yes, these are the kind of thoughts that kept me out of the really good colleges. Now, I wanted to do comedy like my whole life, but I went to college for criminology, which is the study of how white people commit crime. Woo, yeah, criminology. But because you can't major in comedy, so I was flipping through the book, and when I didn't find comedy, I just went to the next page and said, screw it, I'll be a criminologist. One more page and I'd have been a dancer. You're a fun crowd, Lima, Ohio, you know that? I just like saying Lima, Ohio. I don't know why, other than it reminds me of the show Glee. I'm surprised, I don't like it either.
How dare you!
I just said it took place there, I didn't say I liked it. I just thought there'd be more singing. No, but speaking of singing, I actually recently, because we had a black Annie, I started writing a version of Annie for a gay male cast. Alright, that's really just an elaborate setup so I can say, your son will come out tomorrow. Jesus, Jimmy, I don't think you've ever liked me this much. Somebody's having fun. So I had to take a sexual harassment seminar for work recently. It was awful. They start off telling me all these new things and techniques that I'm so excited to try, and then they spend the second half of the class telling me why I'm not allowed to do any of them. That's it. I'm just moving on to sexual assault. You know what? I'm sorry. You know what? I'm going to take that back, everybody. There is nothing funny about sexual harassment. I actually recently was sexually harassed at work. I started calling one of my male coworkers cinnamon buns, just to mess with him, and he didn't seem to mind. And that just made me uncomfortable.
Bob.
I forget what the hell I was talking about now. Oh, I'll go back to my wife. When I decided I wanted to marry my wife, I decided to write her father a letter asking for his permission in 17th century English, just because I really wanted an excuse to start a letter, dearest sir. And now the problem is now I'm really into the idea of like writing one of those letters where you cut all the letters out of magazines so they can't trace your handwriting. So I'm seriously considering writing my father-in-law a ransom note. See how much money he'll give me to give her back. My wife did not appreciate that joke.
I want to get one more.
Yes. I have no idea what you just said to me. Because I don't speak vodka.
That's great.
I swear that's water. Delicious, delicious water. It really is. You want to come try it now? Because you're spitting my stuff. Alright, what the hell was that? Again, I completely blanked on where I'm going with this. So how's everybody doing? Yay.
Third gear, here it comes.
Third gear. Woo, 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 woo. So before I moved out here, I lived in Connecticut. I had a roommate, and one night I come home, and I'm on the phone with my girlfriend, who's now my wife, and so I just stay in the living room talking on the phone, and suddenly he busts in the room with a flashlight, shines in my eyes, and goes, I heard voices. And I look and go, it's my voice. We're not being burglarized by an impressionist. And the worst part is, without missing a beat, he goes, even if we are, you're not that famous. He was actually, I may have deserved that though, because my favorite thing in the world to do was just bust into his room anytime I could tell him something, no matter what he was doing. So once he's in there, careful!
You okay?
Somebody should probably go check on that. But, there we go. Anyway, so I used to bust into my roommate's room. So one time he's in there, with a lady, so he puts a sock on the door. So I don't come in, but I do bang on the door and yell encouragement until he comes out. And when she finally comes out, he goes, what do you want? I go, you got a sock on your door. But you might want to put that away. He was a cool guy, though. I will say this. He worked at a very authentic Renaissance fair. But it was so, and I never, actually, that's because he worked there, I never saw him that much. Basically because his morning commute was 3 days horse ride. And dude didn't own a horse, and it takes forever when you just pretend to ride pretend to ride a horse and bang coconuts. There we go. Yes, it is a monkey. Well, technically it's a Foley joke going back to the early days of radio, but everybody knows it from Monty Python. Yeah. Yes, I am a comedy nerd, I get it. But yeah, no, it was funny, he worked at a Renaissance fair. My favorite thing in the world to do was call him up while he was at work and go, cell phones were not invented in the Renaissance period. That's true, I actually don't like doing that to him because that really hurts my voice. What just happened? No, the thing is, like living with a roommate, you gotta find, sometimes you want to be alone. So when I lived with him, I used to just watch the Spanish channel when I wanted to be left alone, because I knew he didn't speak Spanish and he wouldn't want to come watch it with me. I don't speak Spanish either, but he didn't know that. And if he asked me what I was doing, I'd just tell him the plot to a really obvious movie. Like, what you doing? Okay. Well, my Spanish is a little hazy, but I think Juan there is something called a Jedi Knight. And he's fighting something called the Galactic Empire. And he doesn't know it yet, but Jorge is his father. And he looks at me and goes, isn't that Star Wars? I go, no, it's Empire Strikes Back. But apparently Star Wars is the only movie I've seen. But yes, no, I don't speak Spanish. I've seriously been considering learning a second language. I guess that makes me bilingual curious. I bought one of those learn Spanish in your sleep. I guess it's a MP3 at this point, used to be a record. But I fell asleep listening to it, so now only my subconscious speaks Spanish. I have no idea what I'm thinking about. Yeah?
I
think it's about the most Spanish I know is what?
What? You're driving sometime tomorrow.
Yes, I agree. Whatever we're talking about. Hey Jake, how much time do I have left? Okay. You know what? I have a couple minutes here. I'm just gonna wrap it up for you people because I've basically exhausted every good joke I've ever written.
Come on.
And some that weren't that great. But I want to thank you all for coming out and supporting live comedy. I love comedy in like a deep level, maybe more than I love my wife. She's not here, so I can say that.
Come on.
Oh, come on. I do love my wife. But the thing is, like, I really hope, like, somebody here gets famous, even if it's not me. I just want to share that moment watching Comedy Central with my son and, you know, see somebody I know on television. I can look at my boy and say, Daddy knew that man when we were younger. My son will look at me with love in his eyes and say, Dad, why are all those missing children's posters? Thank God I invented with you.